Hello, Elizabeth Lang here, Founder and Chief Executive Officer of Diversity Focus, and I'd like to welcome you to Diversity Dialogues, where each week I'll be sharing useful content on all matters concerning diversity and inclusion. Today I'd like to talk about the concept of cultivating inclusive environments, and I'd like to share with you 3 direct benefits of diversity and inclusion. Before I do that, I'd like to acknowledge the fact that we are faced with very difficult times at the moment. We're living with a lot of uncertainty, and the world has literally changed within a matter of weeks. Now, in light of these many different changes that are happening on a daily basis, I'd like to encourage us to all take our collective or individual responsibility, which is our collective benefit, and that is to adhere to the precautions that have been put in place around respecting, the concept of personal hygiene, but also particularly, I think, respecting the concept of physical distancing. I'd like to say that it's vitally important that we maintain a sense of social connection, but that we do that in a manner that is safe, such as taking advantage of technology. This is something that we can do in various facets of our lives, such as our personal lives as well as our professional lives. Many of us belong to various community groups. You may belong to a sporting community group, or you may be part of other civil society groups. They are environments where we can all cultivate a sense of inclusion of the people within our communities. But in the context of workplace, the first benefit of diversity and inclusion is that when you have a diverse workforce, you have a diversity of life experience and you have a diversity of perspectives. And that has a direct link to creativity and innovation. And companies that have generally been more welcoming or more conscious of how they cultivate inclusive environments for their employees have generally had better outputs in terms of creativity and innovation. The second benefit of diversity and inclusion is a promotion of equal opportunity. Now, this is a concept that is vitally important in all workplaces and across businesses, but it is also a concept that allows for the facilitation of workplace environments that are based on respect for differences. And also it cultivates the diversity of abilities, of backgrounds, etc. And that is vitally important to the success of businesses. The third and last point is that it has a direct benefit on the financial performance of companies. In a study they did as part of the 18th annual Global CEO Survey, it was discovered that 85% of the CEOs that were surveyed indicated that they believed that diversity and inclusion had a direct impact on their bottom line. Now, these are companies that had a formal diversity and inclusion strategy in place, and they were able to recognize the direct benefit of diversity and inclusion. Now, I think as individuals, it can be easy to sort of say, well, that's a problem for HR to deal with, or that's a problem for management to deal with. But I'd like to challenge you to think about what you can do as an individual to cultivate a sense of inclusion within the workplace, because we all have a responsibility to fostering inclusivity. Now, these are frameworks that can exist within our policies and procedures, but they don't really work until they are implemented by individuals on the ground. And we all have an individual responsibility that leads to that collective sense of responsibility around diversity and inclusion. I'd like to encourage you to reflect on how your actions have a direct impact on the lives or the work of others around you. Because the reality is our actions impact others around us. And sometimes we do things unconsciously, but many times they're also conscious. So it's about thinking about what can we do as individuals to foster a sense of inclusivity in the workplace. Now, we know there are many barriers to fostering inclusive workplaces. And next week, I'd like to share some of those barriers in the context of work, and I'd like to encourage you to tune in. I hope you found this content useful. I'd like to encourage you also to like the video, to subscribe, and also to click on the bell so that you can be notified when I upload the next video. Thank you, and go well.